Live from New York, it's Ask These Engineers.
Hey everybody, we got double the engineer for you. 2-for-1 engineer. Buy now, and you get not only Lady Ada, the engineer, but also Star Simpson.
Hello everybody.
The other engineer, also from MIT.
Hey,
also awesome.
Yeah.
Also the godfather of delivery drones. I'm just going to say that every time. Also known as Stars and Robots.
Stars and Robots on Twitter, that's me.
Star has done just about everything that you've ever heard of. She's awesome. She's going to be talking about electrical engineering. Did you even study electrical engineering?
I did study electrical
engineering.
engineering.
Okay, good. I was like, sometimes you get like a mech E, and it's like, turns out I got like E, but you've been doing so much. We're going to ask you about your past, your present, your future.
Great.
A lot about the future.
That
We're going to be showing off these. What are they? Stay tuned to find out.
That's right.
We've got an exciting show. Tell them what's on tonight's show, Mr. LADYADA.
Right. The code of Stars and Robots at 10% off all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. You get everything 10% off except for gift certificates and software. We can't do that. A little bit of time traveling. We'll look back in the world of hackers, makers, artists, and engineers. A special and sad but exciting farewell to Becky. We'll be talking about that in our wearable segment. 3D printing. Got a video. Have a funny pie site to show you. We got new products. We're going to answer your question. We have a trivia question, all that and more on, you guessed it, sorry, I'm out of order.
Hey, ask engineer. Well, no, because there's two engineers, so it's like double the engineering.
Okay. All right, so let's pay some bills. First up, the code is Stars and Robots.
In honor of Star.
Couple quick things. We still have the $200 or more deal going.
Free shipping.
Free shipping, and you get a free perma-proto.
Sweet.
Same day delivery is still going on in Manhattan before 11 a.m. Just on checkout, you'll see if your zip code is one of the ones, and you'll get free shipping. Programming note, this is Ask an Engineer, 8 p.m. every single week. Show and tell, 7:30 p.m. every single week. We've been doing the Desk of LADYADA. We did 10 videos in a row. We have one more left, and it's for the Pi Zero contest. This is where LADYADA will give you a Pi Zero. All you have to do is put your idea on Hackaday.io. There's already like
100 projects or
yeah,
so?
There's a lot. And it's
but that's still a 1 out of 10 chance of winning.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's filling up pretty fast. And we just had show and tell.
Do you want me to go through it really fast?
Yeah, go through it really fast.
Really fast. We actually didn't have that many people anyways. It was a light but a classic. It was a dense show and tell. We start off with Tony D, who has been setting up a new Wirecast streaming station. Tony D is going to be doing a lot more videos and streaming. He picked up at the same exact setup that we have here. Like, that I can see this computer, you can't. There's a computer, he picked up one. And he's using Wirecast. He showed off some of the green screen stuff that he's playing with, and has cool retro term in the background, so he can write Linux code and hack on stuff while he's in the corner, green screened onto a Linux RxVT. Nona Pedro showed off this week's 3D Thursday project. Is a desktop Voronoi lamp. It's this really beautiful organic lamp that doesn't need supports. It kind of looks like a spider web. What do you think it looks like? It's like
yeah, there was a spider web element.
Yeah, it's a mesh. Yeah, it's this beautiful thing, and so they made a lamp, and it diffuses an LED ring, and this one is Bluetooth controlled, so you can control it from an iOS or Android or tablet or computer or whatever to tell it what LEDs you want, what pattern. Tom Higgins and young assistant Isaac showed off and had a 2-for-1 Pi Zero contest entry, which is awesome. See, this is exactly what you do. You're going to enter this Pi Zero contest, show up on the show and tell, and show it off. Tom made a Pi Fold. It's a wallet with a Pi Zero, a little boost converter, and a battery, and it's running like Tor services and like a VoIP network and like broadcasting a Wi-Fi thing. So like he says, like if you can go to like a protest or an event, you can set up like a mesh, like a soft AP mesh network right there, maybe to like transfer data and like have files available. I don't know. This is like very cyberpunk future. kind of cool. And then Isaac had a fever tracker. It's to keep track of a sick person's fever over the day, so you can track it on Adafruit.io and see if their fever is going up or down, or if it's broken. So maybe when they go to the doctor, they can show a history of how they've been feeling over the last couple of days. It's a really good project. I think it would be very valuable. So, and a Pi Zero is a perfect device for that because it can do temperature sensing and then send the data over Wi-Fi. Takeuchi and his friend made an amplifier in a case. They're going for a talent show, and they shut off the volume knob and the speaker wires and the audio cable, and they're going to enter this talent show. And apparently something happened, but they wouldn't tell me what it is. But they'll come back next week with a new project. And then Sally, not one to ever hold back, made her most amazing project ever. It's a flame skirt. And it's just these beautiful applique flames, and there's like LED strips that were like pulsing. And she's going to show it off at the Haute Couture fashion show at the Crucible. So if you're in Oakland or near Oakland, California, you should definitely join the Crucible because they're freaking cool. But beyond that, go check out the Haute Couture fashion show, and you can see Sally in her amazing lotus jackets, fire skirts, LED sweaters. I mean, she's doing the most with LEDs. This project had 368 neopixels in it.
I've never seen anything like it.
I have never seen anything like it, and you are going to go back to Oakland, so you should please report. You can be a roving reporter.
I will.
And that's the show and tell.
Okay. This week we are not going to have jobs board because we have guests, and we're going to skip around for some other segments. Just go to jobs.adafruit.com. It's a place where makers can post their skills, and companies can post that they're looking for makers, and LadyAda and I approve all of them. So there's no scams or headhunters. It's makers only. Makers looking for makers, essentially. So we saw a need. People were asking, do we do consulting? We're like, no, but we get asked a lot. So why don't we have a place for people to put that?
Because they're like, I want to build a neopixel like sculpture, but I need someone to solder it. And we're like, we don't do that as a service. But here's a job board.
We've been playing MakerCupid for a while,
and it's free. So anyone can.
All right, so let's kick this off.
Yeah.
LadyAda, who's here?
Who is this? Who is this fine young lady? This is Star Simpson. Star is also attended MIT. She has a long history of doing awesome hacks with electronics, being a real, can I say thought leader? I'll say thought leader.
Okay, I'm a thought leader.
She's a thought leader, but she's also a hands leader, doing stuff with her hands. And do you want to? Can I just talk your short biography? Like what you're working on?
What do you do?
Why are you here?
Why are you here? I don't even know anymore. I just forgot. No. Thank you for having me. I'm here to demo a project that I've been working on for the last several months, which are called the Circuit Classics, which I'm very excited to show you. There's one now.
We're going to show them on the overhead. But what do you do? What is your thing?
So what I'm doing right now is a project to bring forward circuits that I really loved building when I was first getting into electronics in a very nostalgic way. I'm making boards that have very delicate drawings on them that show how the circuit works, so that anyone who looks at it can sort of understand what's going on and explore.
And how did you get started with electronics? Because I'm cheating here because you've told me this before. How did you get started with electronics?
I got started when I was about 14 years old. And I found a book, and I took it home for the summer. I found the book at my high school, and I asked, can I borrow the book? Took it home, and I built every project in it. So that was my start.
What book was this?
I think it could have, I don't remember the title, unfortunately. I know it was published either by Radio Shack or Tandy.
Okay.
I've hunted for it ever since. I haven't found it.
But it's one of those little paperback books with electronics. And
exactly.
So you fell in love with electronics.
I did.
Okay, well,
I
that's
did.
awesome.
And then I got to go to MIT. And learn a lot more about electronics.
Okay, and so then I was asking about the history of this project. So 6 months ago.
Right.
What happened 6 months ago?
November. In November, I was looking at some books that I have, including, can I show this?
Oh yeah, of course.
Including Getting Started in Electronics, a book that I have. And I looked at it and I was thinking that, this book, there's so much to love about this book, and it's filled with projects, it's filled with hand-drawn schematics by Force BIMs, and I was wondering, had anyone ever taken those schematics and turned them into physical hardware, and turned them into boards, treated them, to becoming very tangible.
And this was written in 1983, so this is pre-CAD. This is hand-drawn, probably because that's what you did.
Right.
You had only hand drawing.
Right.
So this is the book, or maybe this isn't the book you read when you were a teenager.
Could be.
Maybe, but it inspired you so much.
It did inspire me, and I wanted to take the projects and like convert them to being part of the real world.
Okay, and I think a lot of the viewers who are watching either have used Forrest Mims books, or I had a Forrest Mims book. Like,
yeah.
Everyone did.
Yeah, raise your hand if you had a Forrest Mims book. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I even feel that. That's so cool.
Yeah, even I did.
Nice.
No, I'm not.
No, there is a disproportionate number of women engineers out there. There's as far as I can see, it's just women doing engineering, and I was a rare young boy who wanted to do engineering.
That's so cool. I didn't know you had a Forrest Mims book when you were a kid.
Yeah, one day,
You never told me
one day, I think more men will get into engineering.
I hope so.
And
We can inspire the next generation.
if I was only encouraged more.
I know. Well, you should have had like a male teacher or something.
I know.
Learn to code.
What are you gonna do?
But almost everybody had a Forrest Mims book. I mean,
Yeah.
these are awesome books. And so let's talk about the circuits. Oh, sorry. But can you tell the story about how you
Okay, sure. So, I was looking at this book. I was thinking someone should convert these to hardware if they haven't already. Couldn't find any examples, and ended up being, lucky enough to get in touch with Forrest Mims. And I asked, has anyone ever done this? And his response just got me. He was like, well, a lot of people have proposed this, and no one's ever followed through. And, that's totally like, to me, like, well I feel like I have to do this.
Your middle name is Follow Through.
It is this one. So yeah, with his permission to use his drawings and his name in association with this project, decided to go ahead and make sure it got done.
Okay, well, you wanted to dive right in and check out these cool
definitely.
circuit boards?
Well, I guess the other thing is,
we have some
I
photos.
grabbed this from, I believe it's Indiegogo.
That's on Crowd Supply.
Sorry, Crowd Supply, because
Right.
right now there's Kickstarter, there's Indiegogo, there's Crowd Supply, and
Crowd
then there's
Supply.
a couple other ones because I write this Maker Business newsletter.
Right.
So you're using Crowd Supply, which seems to be kind of the hacker maker friendly one.
They're very hacker maker friendly. Yes, that's
Bunny's
true.
laptop is on that.
Bunny's laptop is on it.
And I think there was some other.
Mark Feldmeyer, who's a friend, I believe, has done he did the mixtape
That's
Alpha.
right. So Crowd Supply, in addition to the funding platform, they also do fulfillment and all those other things.
They do, and them being very friendly toward hardware and very aware of what high quality hardware looks like.
Yeah.
And also the warehouse component that's attached. Those are the two reasons that I'm particularly drawn to working with Crowd Supply.
Okay, so if folks want to find this project, they can go to Crowd Supply and
Yeah,
search
actually,
for
if
it?
you go to Crowd Supply right now, you will be able to find a sort of a landing page, and you can sign up to hear more about the project. When it launches, you'll get an email if you sign up there.
You just got
Okay.
these PCBs a couple days ago. So
I did. I just got these back.
exciting.
Okay. So
Prototypes.
Let's go to the,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Show off one of these.
Let's demo.
Yeah, and if you
Let's
move it
see.
around there.
So here's one now. This circuit is called the dual LED flasher. And it's one of the most fun projects that I think a lot of people do sort of very early on. It's got 2 transistors, 2 capacitors, 4 resistors, and 2 LEDs. So that makes it very fast to put together and get results from.
And this
So
is a schematic, so you have this drawn out here.
you have the schematic drawn out, and that's actually taken from the book. So you can see that that's like a vector of the actual page in the
It's his
book.
handwriting.
Oh, this is
It's
113.
in his handwriting. It's
Hold
on,
on.
it should be on page 113.
Okay, hold on. Let's just compare and
So
contrast
just,
here.
well, just for fun, what was the process to just get the signature, and then you're using Eagle? Did you make it a bitmap? Was it a pain?
So I have designed these in Eagle, and it continues to be a huge pain. Eagle and really no CAD program seems particularly great at doing very intensive art.
Yeah.
There are a few projects designed to do this a little more easily. For example, PCB mode is one project designed to address that, but I still find most tools to be pretty cumbersome. And honestly, I picked Eagle because it was familiar, right?
Gotcha.
So just the lowest learning curve, not the best tool.
Okay.
So
Whatever
should
it takes.
Should I go ahead and power
Yeah,
this
keep
up?
going.
Power it up.
So now that we've finished soldering this board, if I go ahead and put this battery in here, you can see it to start to function. We got 2 flashes out of there, and I'm going to pop the battery back out.
Do you
and
need a
try
fresh
again.
battery?
Maybe I need a fresh battery. I think that might be good.
That battery's probably really
I just needed to have a solid connection.
Okay.
So there, I'm going to not blow out the camera by shining the LEDs directly at it, but you can see the 2 LEDs flashing back and forth. And one thing that's cool about this is functioning based on these 2 transistors, basically charging up the capacitors, and then that causes the 2 transistors to alternately turn on and
Yeah. you flip and flop. And then can you show the other side?
Yeah, so if I turn this over, you can see the circuit connections here, and then a little description of how it works. And this is, again, taken directly out of the book. This is Forrest Bim's description text of what's going on there, and a little note about how, if you want, you can adjust some of the values to get different functions, and experiment with how that works.
It's amazing that the page number's on there because it's such a foundational book. Like 113 will be 113.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're not going to change this ever.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's in handwriting with a nod to how a lot of people learn. This is one of the best combinations of kind of old meets new, I think, I've seen.
Thank you.
And I love me some Forrest Mims III. You know, he's not going to last forever. And so this is kind of, we just had Paul Horowitz on a long form video, and LADYADA interviewed him. And I feel like that was a digital kind of, this is the next generation kind of carrying on with electronics, and I think it feels like that too.
I do hope to properly treat his work as a hardware project as his work deserves.
Yeah.
The book has been in print now for, I guess, over 30 years, so I hope it continues to be in print for a good long while.
So there might be a Star Simpson out there that's getting this book, but then they'll get the hardware.
Oh, I hope
there's some other 14-year-old girl.
There'll be a 14-year-old that gets all the way to the physical hardware faster because of your efforts.
Yeah, I think, for this, when I was getting started, you have to teach yourself how a breadboard works, and they're not like that immediately obvious. It takes some time to sort of get your head around it. So my hope is this way you can really get up and go even more quickly. On the other hand, I think that even if you've soldered 50,000 projects before, the hope is that it's still very pleasing and enjoyable and something that you can.
This is art. I would actually put this in a frame on a wall.
That's part of the goal here.
Yeah.
That's part of the goal
cool.
here.
And so you've got all sorts of different techniques here. So this is, you can see the lines. You have copper strips, mask over it, and then silkscreen. And then here you have silkscreen over traces.
You're right.
Yeah.
So one thing I was trying to do there, and I think you may also share this experience, is with the green PCBs, right? You could hold them up to a lamp and see how the copper connected things internally. And one thing I was trying to do here was replicate that experience by basically tracing over the copper connections here and making them visible with their silk screen if it's on the same layer as you're looking at, and then negative solder mask if it's on the other layer. And that gives you the sort of front and back 2-layer copper connection visual, and you can see that.
It's kind of interesting, like I've never seen someone do these kind of pedagogical circuit boards. It's kind of interesting you're coming up with the language.
That's a lot. It feels like coming up with a language. That's fair.
Okay, and then you got this awesome signature, and this is in copper, and then no masks. So you get this.
Yeah,
cool.
that's his signature. The polygons. There are many polygons in order to. Sort of,
so how long does it take to generate the Gerbers for this?
It takes about an hour and a half to generate the Gerbers. I've been making these boards using OshPark, and shout out to OshPark for being some of really nice people. I'm impressed that their tool has been able to handle the Gerbers for this.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
It's funny. The Gerber was the language. It's it's just for making rectangles. It was not really. It's the most are oval.
Yeah.
They're okay, oval. That's pretty complicated.
Right.
This is intense. And then what are these pads all about?
Oh, these corners. So this is going to look slightly different in the final version, but these corners are designed for alligator clips. So if you just want to, you're at your desk, you're prototyping, and you want to go ahead and just clip that to whatever battery pack you have, you can go ahead and do that. Or you can use a battery, or if you like and you're handy with the surface mount soldering, you can add a USB jack on there also and keep it running forever.
Okay, this is intense and cool.
Thank you.
Sweet. I can't wait to get one of these. And check out this awesome NASA font. Actually, it's worm font. Did you invent that font, or is this a font that you?
I didn't. I did manipulate the font a little bit in the graphics program to make it look just like that.
So so you're using Illustrator.
I'm using my workflow is a heavy use of Illustrator in order to get the text to look right, then exporting from Illustrator to DXF files, which I can then work with in Eagle. It's as painful as it sounds.
I'll get some questions real time. Sure. How long did it take you to design and prototype all these boards?
I feel like it's both taken me longer and been quicker than I thought. So I've gone through about 3 different aesthetic approaches. I think as you saw in the preview screen, I originally tried to make this left half look like a breadboard. I canceled that idea. I didn't like it that much. So I've been through about like 3 different completely distinct design revs, and I think I crashed the first 3 in like 2 weeks each, which I thought that was pretty quick. I've been working on this now for 4 months, which is longer than I thought it would take me to get to something I'd be like absolutely happy with. But I feel pretty good about where I am.
But like you said, you're inventing this. Like
Yeah.
you have to go through all the possibilities. You aren't just like, the circuit itself. It's very simple. There's
Yeah.
only 2 transistors and a couple resistors and a LED.
Right.
I mean, that's not what's hard. What's hard is making it come together.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's
Okay.
exactly right.
Can we see one of the other circuits too?
Absolutely.
Which one? Do you want to see the voltage or sound?
Why don't we go with sound?
Let's go for sound.
So there are 3 projects total, and I'm going to swap from this LED one
take
to
this off.
this one. So this circuit will be familiar to some people as well. It's not just a fun project, it's also got a second life on the hardware underground. Some people call this the Atari Punk console.
Yeah.
Because it makes these like Atari-like chip tone noises.
it's got a 555, 556.
It has right here it has a 556, which is 2 555s. So you have power ground, and then you've got a 555 on the left and a 555 on the right. That's not described on this board per se, but you can see all the connections on the 556, and then I'll flip this over, and you can see that in the book that it's from, the 555 timer IC circuit notebook, it goes into a lot more depth and has like a data sheet that tells you a little bit about how that 556 works.
Okay, so cool. All right, let's get squeaking.
Yeah, so it's got 3 potentiometers, and you can see those here. And so one of them controls the volume, and I think this is already running, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it up. It should be making like a click. You can hear that?
Yeah.
You hear the click?
Here, hold on. I'll mic it up.
All right. Oh, we're going to clip a microphone on. Great. And then if I go ahead and take these other 2 controls, you can hear changing the, I think this is changing the frequency, and then this is changing the duty cycle. And then you can bring that all the way up into the quite high frequency
People's
range.
pets are like running out of the room.
Yeah. And then if you're musically talented, which I'm not, you can do things with that and play like chip tone like melodies. There's also a particular range in here where you can start to hear the stepping, which like I'm going to try and get to. Like that's a step.
Oh wow, so it really is like chunk,
Yeah.
chunk. Okay.
Yeah, it's very chunk. Another thing that's really fun to do with this is if you look at the trace of the signal on a scope, you can actually see it switching between modes, which is like a fun thing to do.
All right. So you've got music, you've got blinkies.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good. These are like
Okay.
you're getting into it. These
I'll
are
look at
classic.
everyone.
These are classic projects.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like this little speaker. Where'd you get this little speaker from?
The speaker I got, that's a DigiKey find, but
Okay.
I quite like it. It's got good frequency response.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
speaking of, I totally forgot. On the back of this board, you can see a little description text. This is a drawing again.
I'll have it autofocus.
Oh, nice. So this drawing is taken from the 555 timer IC circuit notebook and describes how the signal out of the 556 changes as you adjust the gains that are feeding into it.
That's cool.
And again, there's connections here.
All right.
Cool. Why don't I show
So
you?
that's 2.
That's 2.
3.
Let me show you the third. So this one is close to my heart a lot because this is called the bar graph voltage indicator. And this is a fun project because when you build this, you sort of built your own tool, which I think is an important milestone for every engineer. This is the maybe one of the simpler voltmeters you could design. And you can see how it works here, where you have 4 LEDs forming sort of like a bar graph. And when you plug in a battery, they all turn on and let you measure a voltage that goes up to the reference of the battery. So this actually takes, I fixed this in the rev I just shipped, but this takes a huge range of input voltage, so you can, I think, go up to at least 9 volts. and then have the ability to measure up to 9 volts in your circuit. So
Okay.
this is just powered up. You can see it doesn't have anything to measure, so it's measuring 100%. But if I were to take this jumper wire and test different points in the circuit, you can see that it goes as 100%, and then 75%, and 50%, and 0. So it's measuring 0, which should be the 25% mark, but you can adjust the sensitivity as well with that big potentiometer.
Yeah, well, it's going to be, if you're comparing against exact voltage,
right.
You'll get
It's a step.
Schrodinger's comparator.
Right, Schrodinger's comparator. That's good. So
okay, so this is, these are really nice little lovely LEDs here. So this could be used like as a battery measurement, or you could use this to measure another one of the circuits.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
All right, cool. And what chip is that on there?
This chip is LM339. And so this is a whole bunch of comparators. Actually, one detail you can't see here, but before you solder the chip down, there's a block diagram that shows the comparators on the inside, so that's fun.
That's cool. And what page is this from?
This is Getting Started in Electronics, page 124.
Let's go check it out, because we're
Let's
here.
look at that.
Okay, so this is comparator circuits. So you are, this one down here.
That one there.
Yeah,
Yep.
there you go.
And you can see that it's robust. You can include any of a number of types of
Oh yeah, and the
operands.
LED is going down because almost all comparators are open drain. Which is always weird. I don't know why that is. Okay, so then you can adjust the range here. There's a divider, compare, and then it just turns on each LED.
Yep.
Simple but effective.
Yeah, there it is. And you can compare how the schematic looks to the traces.
I would say this is the best community and audience to show it to. So there's all there is like, yay, so a couple comments. These are works of art, geek art, fantastic. Talk about eating your own dog food, a voltmeter that measures itself.
Totally.
So everyone really likes these, and you just showed all three. So what are the next stages for the project? Where can people maybe get them? Where can they find out more? Because I think this is going to be one of the more popular things of 2016.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Only because of a few things. One, I think there's so many people who grew up with this, and there was never something at the gift shop at the end. Maybe you have this book, but the physical hardware you kind of had to find on your own. This is almost like an achievement plaque.
This is
in a lot of
totally
ways.
that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, definitely. Next steps for me, I've just shipped final rev, so these are very close to done, but I've made some tiny tweaks to consider it finished in my own eyes. And I will be launching it on Crowd Supply, so people will be able to crowdfund it there. And then in terms of future, I think there's a lot of possibilities.
I mean, you have 130 pages. There's how many circuits in here? There's like 200 circuits.
A lot of circuits.
There's a lot of circuits.
A lot of
you
circuits.
could have the laser light activated SCR, transistors and diodes and like relays and
All kinds of things.
all sorts of
The
stuff.
way we roll, we I don't
Flip-flops.
I don't mind giving you ideas right now because the world can hear it too. If you get to the point where the demand is really high and you need a company to help out with fulfillment, let us know.
Oh, thank you.
We would love to buy things at great margins for you and Forrest, and then resell them because this is a cool kit. We sell the book already, so
Nice.
let us know. I mean, if there's anything Adafruit can do,
Metronome.
Thanks, guys.
as it evolves, and also if there's anything to get the word out more.
Thank you.
We avoid crowdfunding type things because
Right.
there's so much noise.
Right.
But we've posted like 4 or 5 times. One was Bunny's laptop, and
Nice.
certainly this one would be one because it's nostalgia, it's forward looking, it's helping to get people in electronics.
Definitely.
And what a neat thing to kind of say, like 2016, you can, while Forrest is still doing his thing, and while like things like Osh Park are finally here, all of that is overlapping at the same time.
Yeah.
You totally have to do this one, the organ,
Oh
the
my goodness.
multiple, like the 8.
That's a heck of a- people
eight
can't see this project, but I think people ought to be able to.
Yeah, so
It's a
this one,
lot
this is awesome. Look at this. There's just a little. This is a JFET. I don't remember.
JFET.
Yeah, it's a J. Sorry, UJT.
Right.
I always get them confused because of this little thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've got like 8 keys, and it has a little oscillator here, and it will have a speaker.
A random speaker, yeah.
That's cool.
That's a fun one.
That's a good one.
So much
Make it
so
look like
that-
a little piano. No, I'm just taking I'm taking it away from you.
Does Adafruit sell the Getting Started in Electronics book?
We do. That's why I
Okay.
grabbed this because I was like, hey, wait a minute, we have that.
Next up, can you explain the diagonal lines on the copper area on the right? I guess
Yeah,
that was
so
one of those.
this detail here, these lines, they are meant to represent sort of the notebook lines that actually track behind his text. So if
Yeah,
you look
so
at the
see.
book, all of these projects have notebook lines behind them.
These
They're
are
actually drawn on
they're
paper.
printed on, like
Yeah.
it's mimicking as if it was notebook paper.
Yeah. I wanted to represent that
Wow.
and keep that as part of the project.
All right, sweet. Okay, so this is gonna be exciting. So you're starting out with 3, and I'm sure everyone's asking, like, but what are you gonna do? You'll do more if this works out.
I'll do more if it works out.
Okay,
For now,
so
I'm just really
back
excited
it.
to bring these to the world.
Back it. These are great. I mean, did
Thank
you
you
know
much.
that these were the ones that you were gonna do?
I actually started out with a list of 12, and then I got extremely overwhelmed and was like, I have to simplify. So I picked the top 3. One
Okay.
dealing with light, one dealing with sound, and one that's about becoming, realizing yourself as an engineer.
Wow, this is kind of deep. Don't know if I'm ready for that. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Is there any other stuff that you're working on you want to talk about?
Oh, I think this is the interesting
Okay,
relevant thing for now.
that's plenty.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Are there any other questions?
Yeah, if you wanted to get started with electronics now,
Yeah.
because you've gone through your journey, and
Right.
it's never going to end. But
Right.
where would you start? What are the resources? What are your favorite sites?
Oh my goodness. I think my answer varies vastly depending on like what age you're coming at this at, because
So you're a 14-year-old girl.
if you're a 14-year-old girl, well, that's great because
Siri Starson.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, you have the dexterity at that age to solder and to start to understand that kind of thing. So I think my project's a pretty good place to start. And for its book, there are other projects that I like a lot, and I know name check a bunch.
Yeah, name check away.
One pairing that I'm a huge fan of that I really wish existed when I was younger than 14, honestly, is the combination of G-Cheese Chibitronics. You may or may not have seen this.
Yeah. No, we carry them.
You carry them, perfect. So the circuit stickers,
so
stickers,
cute.
they're so cute. And what I really love doing is pairing those with the electronics gel pens that let you draw traces. They work really well together, and I love that.
So you can actually draw a circuit.
You can draw circuits
Yeah.
and then put the stickers down and build
Yeah, the
circuits
stickers
that way.
the stickers are really cool. Yeah, I remember Bunny was telling me about it. I was like, this is going to be so awesome.
Right. Yeah, so exciting.
So yeah, and Jay is of course so creative and fun. And all these Media Lab people.
Yes.
It's kind of nice. MIT's representing here.
Media Lab people.
Okay, and any other recommendation stuff that you love? Things Star loves.
Everything on Adafruit.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's so many resources today to get started that it's a much richer field. So I think there's a lot you can find and see what you like and start to tinker. It's
Okay.
great.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for coming by.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I mean, you're not going to go away yet. You're still hanging out.
Yeah, we still have more show ahead.
We have plenty of show.
So we get a little bit of a break now.
All right. Awesome.
Okay.
Good job selling your thing.
Folks at the end of the show can continue to ask questions, and we're gonna
Oh, sorry.
try to get through some of the stuff that we still want to get on the show tonight.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's get back to it then. LADYADA. All right. Star, stick around. Mostly
Don't go
because
anywhere.
we're using your Twitter handle. Stars and Robots is the discount code, and if someone wants to follow along your ventures, they can go to twitter.com/stars and robots.
Yep, that's a good place.
You're always posting interesting things, and that's where I think I saw the Force MIM stuff at first, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I think I instant messaged Lamore right away, and then you came on the show and tell, and then
Right.
you said you were in New York, so everything just kind of worked
Yay!
out.
Yeah, I love that.
Serendipity. So okay, let's go into the news. LADYADA. We have Arduino news.
Arduino.
Yeah, so for the folks who know or folks who don't know, we manufacture Arduinos from
Yay!
arduino.cc, the real Arduino. Yeah, and we're slowly but surely getting all of the rest of the Arduinos manufactured and made. And these are made in USA.
So far,
Arduinos.
Arduino Uno, Arduino Mega, and as of this week, dun 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 dun, dun
Yeah.
the Arduino Micro.
Yeah.
Yeah! Amazing.
So the Micro just came off our new oven. We've been adding more equipment to the Adafruit manufacturing lineup.
Yeah, now you can double-sided boards.
Yeah, so we have a lot of stuff that is helping us meet the demand, and there's a lot. So I also get to show, every time we launch a new board, I show this. Made in New York City by a bunch of goths. Yeah, that's us.
Yeah, so
Super
sad.
awesome.
Tragic.
Morrissey's playing in the background. So
And usually, statistically speaking, it is usually the Morrissey or the Smiths playing.
yeah, so if you want to support the Arduino project, the open source software and hardware they've done, and all that stuff, please tell the place where you get Arduino to make sure they stock arduino.cc boards. It matters.
Or, yeah, Genuinos in
matters-
Europe and
matters in the
Arduinos.
US right now.
Arduinos in the US.
So-
Yeah, especially in the US.
Yeah. So, okay. Next up, time travel. We take a look back in the world of makers, hackers, artists, engineers, people that are pioneers or lots of firsts. Happy birthday, Roberta Williams. She's an American video game designer and co-founder of Sierra Entertainment, which I did not know. She's Mystery House.
Wait, you didn't know that?
No. No.
It's her fault. She's the one that drove you crazy when you were playing King's Quest. She comes up with the puzzles.
So King's Quest, Phasmogaria, and Mystery House. And I just remember Sierra Entertainment. They were just so huge when video gaming first happened. Yeah. So she's also credited as creating the graphic adventure genre. So
yeah, no, without King's Quest, we would not have like a huge different games. I mean, like this, she was actually took like text adventures and brought them into this graphical world where you would have like adventure games and things. It was funny. It's a lot like Zelda. I think Zelda has the most to compare against King's Quest. Did you play King's Quest when you were a kid?
I remember playing Sierra Online games.
Okay. I didn't play Sierra Online. I don't know if you actually needed a modem or something. I never played Sierra Online, but I played King's Quest and like puzzle, action, stabbing, trolls, getting carrots. It was good times.
So if you want to see a bunch of people, maybe you know or don't know, and it's timed with the date, check out our time travel section. Okay, wearables. We don't have a wearable video this week, and sad but exciting news, we're not going to have any wearable shows going forward. Live shows, the Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern. Our last one was a week ago, and Becky let us know. It was an
awesome show.
Becky let us know after 4 years at Adafruit that this was her last month as director of Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern. It's sad, but it's also exciting. She's looking to do some change, because we've been on this wearables kick for a while.
How long have you been working with Becky?
I've been working with Becky almost 10 years. I hired her out of school to work at Make, and then as soon as Adafruit could get her away from Make after I retired from Make, we brought her to Adafruit, and the idea was create the dream job and some big goals. And this is what Becky wrote on her site, my next chapter. I don't know where I'm going from here, but I promise it won't be boring. It was a David Bowie quote. And she kind of did a neat job wrapping up what she's done since she's been here. 170 videos, 140 step-by-step tutorials, over 10 million minutes watched on YouTube.
But I have a question, Phil. Is this the end of Becky Stern?
No,
Will we
not.
never, ever hear or see anything she's doing?
No, of course not.
Okay.
She already has like a bunch of subscribers on her Becky Stern YouTube channel and all that. So
check out her website.
So it's not goodbye. It's I feel like as companies and the thing that we're supposed to do, Adafruit's supposed to be the best place in the world to work, where you accomplish some crazy goal. And if we do a really good job, you might want to go do your next big thing, because that's how Adafruit got here. So on a personal level, I'm very sad, but at the same time, because I have coworker and manager hat, but the friend hat and kind of the skateboard culture that we have, I'm like, what trick is Becky going to do next? So looking back, Flora and Gemma, and how horrible it was to try to do wearables and like sewing the
we told her, we're like, let's do this thing.
Thread. It was a nightmare, and it was stagnation, and all the projects would oxidize, and like it was just like, wearables is not going anywhere. And we kind of.
I remember at the time when she joined, the most impressive project you could make was maybe like a sparkle skirt, like a skirt that would twinkle when you danced. We did that like within a month, and like from then on, we just like took it farther and farther and farther. And now like we have people show up, and like you saw, Sally showed up, and she's like, oh yeah, I made this skirt that has like fires and flames with the LEDs, and so all this stuff we've been building on the wearables, and we've accomplished so much, like 170 videos, 140 videos, I don't remember whatever, 150-ish videos and tutorials is amazing. We've covered so much ground. We've done so much in wearables. We've absolutely changed what wearables means.
Yeah. So from everyone at Adafruit, Becky, and all of the community members, audience members, everyone out there who watches your video, just thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's
been awesome.
It's been a labor of love, and I've worked with you in multiple companies. I'm sure I will continue to do so. And we'll keep everyone posted on the site. Adafruit.com/Becky Stern is always going to be there. Take a look at all the videos, the portfolio of things she's put together, and follow her on Twitter. She did a farewell post on our site. We did a post. And I think that's the other thing is, when you have talented people in this modern landscape on how we all work together, this is the way it should be. It should be a constant, let's see what we can do next together. Nothing should last forever. Well, I remember the first time I met Becky, I was thinking she needs to have her own TV show one day, and maybe this is the next. This is it. You know, I thought the same thing when I met Bree Pettis, and he did have a TV show after Make, which was called History Hacker.
That's right.
Anyways, so that's Becky, and thank you again, everyone who's supported Becky and watched all the shows. And
don't forget to subscribe to her channel.
Yeah, subscribe to if she gets, I think, another 1,200 subscribers, she hits the next tier for the YouTube creators.
She's going to be doing a lot of stuff. She's going to be branching out, doing more crafting. It just sounds like motorcycle hacking, some electronics maybe. And who knows? Whatever she wants to do.
And for the folks wondering if we're going to hire another wearables person, maybe, here's how it works.
But we have a Becky clone.
Yeah,
we took her DNA.
Here's how it works at Adafruit. For talented folks, come on our show and tell. Post a tutorial on Instructables or Hackster.io, or do a blog post, or show something cool that you do. That's how people get jobs here. So that's the job application.
There will never be another Becky Stern.
Yeah.
But we will still be doing other videos and projects, and of course we'll be blogging her projects when they're cool too.
Yeah. This is poignant. As a fan, I'm nodding, and I'm like, I feel it too.
Yeah, it's like people have to follow their dreams and their passions, and the whole point is that we have elevated her, and she's done so much work that she can now she's at the perfect point of her life to do something that she wants to do.
And sometimes, the thing that I was talking to Becky about was, I left Hackaday that I started. I left Make, and I left Hackaday to go do Make. I left Make to help a little more with Adafruit. So I can. And
those are still doing very well.
I could never say you shouldn't go for it. And that's really the thing. So, anyways, and thank you, Becky.
Okay.
And on a personal note. I'll answer this question. That someone just asked. Would you ever have Bree from MakerBot? Yeah, I've invited Bree a ton of times. She should come on the show too. Okay, next up. That'd be neat. We'll have Becky as a guest one day.
Yeah,
on the show. Yeah,
that's true.
She gets to roll in and do stuff.
Yay!
Okay. All right, 3D printing. Noah and Pedro are doing their videos. We have the feather lamp this week.
Yep.
And so
the Voronoi lamp.
I'm just gonna play it.
Here's a fun and easy DIY project. A Bluetooth-controlled LED lamp using an Adafruit Feather 32U4 Bluefruit LE and NeoPixel ring. The NeoPixel ring can be controlled with the Adafruit Bluefruit LE Connect app for iOS or Android, so you can change the color of the LEDs or trigger different animations. You'll need only a few parts to build this project, and we have everything linked below in the description. The Adafruit Feather 32U4 Bluefruit LE is an all-in-one Arduino compatible plus Bluetooth low energy with built-in USB and battery charging. The enclosure is 3D printed and available to download and modify. And if you don't have access to one, you can send the files to a service like 3dhubs.com. You can get the Arduino libraries and Sketch for this project by checking out the guide on the Adafruit Learning System. Let's start by preparing the wires. They'll need to be about 8 centimeters in length. Next, strip the ends of each wire by removing 4 millimeters of insulation. Tin the wires by heating them up using the tip of the soldering iron. This prevents the stranded wires from fraying, and it makes connections easier. We only need 5 wires for this project, and they don't need to be different colors, but it does help keep track of connections. Now let's connect the wires to the slide switch. It's easier to do this if the leads are tinned first. Pieces of heat shrink tubing insulate the exposed connections. Connect the remaining wires to the NeoPixel ring. One of the wires from the slide switch connects to the ground pin on the NeoPixel ring, and the other connects to the enable pin on the Adafruit Feather. The ground, power, and data wires from the NeoPixel ring connect to the appropriate pins on the Adafruit Feather. Tap the 2 mounting holes on the Adafruit Feather using machine screws, so that they barely poke through the bottom of the board. Next, insert the board and hold it in place. Then fasten the screws into the standoffs with mounting holes. The cutout in the case allows you to recharge the LiPo battery and upload code through the micro USB port. You can install the slide switch by inserting it into the cutout on the opposite end of the USB port. The NeoPixel ring sits on top of the circular mount, and it just press fits into place. This simple diffuser cover keeps the components in place and it goes in the middle of the NeoPixel ring. The cover topper has threads on the edges so you can simply twist it onto the case just like a bottle cap. And there you have it, a Bluetooth controlled NeoPixel lamp. This makes a great addition to any workspace or living area, and it's portable so you can place it just about anywhere. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like this project, be sure to subscribe for more DIY projects from Adafruit.
All right, Noah and Pedro will be posting these videos and more tomorrow, Thursday. And we have one more 3D video this week. It's the time-lapse video. So we're doing these because it takes forever to 3D print.
Time-lapse Tuesday. It's more fun this way. Only 40 seconds.
Pi stuff. I have one little bit of Pi news, which I think is kind of funny. So someone made a site that tells everyone that there's no Raspberry Pi in zeros.
This is actually, it's not actually even a JavaScript. This is actually just one image.
Yes.
This is just the image that it shows all time.
What it is. But,
no, we're going to be getting more in a week or two.
The Hackaday.io contest is the fastest way to get Pi zeros at the moment. Okay, so LADYADA, we're going to do new products before we do it. Stars and Robots is code. And why don't you speed round this?
We're going to speed through new products.
Yeah.
We have a couple videos in it, so it's good.
Okay.
Okay.
So this week.
New.
Let's start with this.
Okay. First up, this is a Panahand. So this is kind of interesting. This is by I think Hobby. Oh shoot, what's it? Sorry, I can't remember their name. Hobby something. I can't remember the name of the company. It was Hobby something, and they make this is an add-on for Panavice third hand. So you can mount it onto the base. And okay, can you pass me that? And then you can like put the. It has the same mounting hole grid as the Panavice, so you can basically have like a Panavice with all these like awesome third hand things, and like they bend and they've got like clips and stuff, and like they can hold anything, and you can move these around too. And this is I have one of these, and it's like the best thing ever. And it works with the big Panavice or the small Panavicen. It's not an official accessory, but like it really helps, especially if you have the small Panavice. It helps weigh it down so that it doesn't tip over as much. Anyways, this is really cool.
Okay.
Hobby Creek, that's the name of the company.
Okay.
So yeah, it's cool. Machined. This is a small USB hub. It's a 4-port hub. It has a micro USB port. This is kind of designed, well, we're specifically carrying it for the Raspberry Pi Zero, but you can use it with anything that has an on-the-go connector and you want to add a hub to, so you can have 4 things connected to it. And it's an on-off switch, which we find very, very handy. We use these in production when we have to turn on and off a bunch of USB devices at a time.
Okay. Next up, other device.
This is almost identical, except it has a standard USB-A connector instead of a micro B connector. So this is for normal computers. Again, we're carrying this for use with Raspberry Pi A Plus models or BeagleBone Black, or single board computers that basically, you plug in a hub and you want to have a mouse and a keyboard. If you only have one USB port, you would not be able to have both mouse and keyboard, but now you can do both.
Yep.
It's just a hub.
Okay, and I skipped around on this. I hope it was okay to do this one first.
Yeah, that's fine. This is the Pi Girl 2 gamepad button PCB. This is for a project that we have, and we're selling just the PCB, and we're also selling the kit, and this is the thing you get to build. Can you go?
Yeah, it's for this.
It's for this. Thank you, kind assistant, for handing that to me. It is a Pocket Game Girl. It is a DIY Raspberry Pi 2 powered portable gaming station. Do you want to go to the overhead real fast, and I'll just kind of show it?
Yeah. Did you want me to? You wanted to show?
Yeah, I'll just show this for in a second. So you basically build your own 3D printed Raspberry Pi game system, and you can play, The Legend of Zelda or something. I don't know exactly what I just clicked. We'll find out. So Nintendo, and then yeah, this is going to play Legend of Zelda.
Oh my goodness, look at those graphics.
Yeah, this is pretty sweet graphics. So this is using FBCP and it runs Emulation Station. This is a totally stolen ROM, you know, whatever, commit crimes, play Nintendo games, good times. Can emulate all kind of like, you know, Genesis, Nintendo, SNES, Atari, Amiga, Commodore 64, all that good stuff. You want to build one? Of course you do. Why don't you want to build one? Everybody wants to have their own handheld Pocket Pi Girl. To make it easy for you, we have a pack with all of the parts except for the 3D printed case and buttons. So you do need to 3D print some stuff. But it's pretty easy to solder. This custom PCB makes it a lot easier. Connect a battery powered and charge, connect the Pi TFT to this thing, plug it into the Raspberry Pi Model B Pi 2, and you have a high-speed emulation station. So you can get the PCB. So if you want to like DIY, you have all this stuff already, you can get just the PCB, or you can get the kit and it has everything except for the hand tools, wire, solder.
Yeah. Now, here's an interesting kind of question. I've seen lots of like phone cases and all sorts of accessories where everyone's kind of made the Game Boy silhouette and everything. We don't want to test Nintendo to find out if they'd care, so we just put up the files. You print your own case.
Right.
We don't make the cases. We're not Game Boy. We're not Nintendo.
Yeah, we cannot sell the case.
Yeah, because we get asked all the time, but you can print it out and it's fine.
And people do it as a beginner project. It's designed to be fairly easy to print, but yes, we cannot sell the case.
But
don't ask. We can't 3D print it for you either.
We did think about it. We're like, I don't think we should get in the business of making something that's an injected molding case that looks just like what Nintendo makes.
Yeah, that's not really. Yeah, that's not our thing.
Okay.
I mean, I think they still, I'm sure, sell something that looks like it. So.
I don't want to.
Who knows?
I really like Nintendo. I don't want to. I don't want to get entangled into Nintendo. So this is our NeoPixel ring section of the show tonight.
Ooh,
so we have a bunch.
That is like a face or something.
So do you want me to just step through? Because
yes, we have rings and also jewels. So this is the beginning of adding RGBW versions of all our NeoPixel rings. So you can tell this one has RGB. It can do a color swirl. But it also has white LED elements. You can mix and match them. You can have RGB W all at once, but it's just easier to show if I have only the white LEDs on so you can see the color temperature of those. So these are NeoPixel compatible, but they have 4 LED elements, so you just need to make sure that your library supports RGBW, which ours does. And we have these in all of the ring sizes. So we can go forward to get 12 LED rings. And you can kind of see that the little yellow spot, that's the yellow spot on the outside, that's the white phosphor. We also have it in 16 LED.
And what I did is I put together some of these I got all the images in time, some of them I didn't.
Oh, it's fine. We just basically have all of the different LED rings. I'll also demo it, but we also have the jewels. This one is a great image because you can see cool, neutral, and warm. So starting from the top left, there's RGB, and then cool white, neutral white, and warm white. So each of the rings you can get the RGB version and 3 versions of RGBW where the white phosphor has slightly different color temperature. I couldn't quite decide which color temperature people would want the most. So I just said, okay, fine, let's just make all 3 and then we'll figure out what people like. And if there's one that just never sells, we'll just discontinue it and like whatever. So we have these jewels. These are cute little 7 LED jewels. And yeah, just want to flip through them real fast. And then there's this picture. There's 7 LEDs. You can see these have little yellow phosphor. They're cute. This is the warm.
The different temperatures.
Warm, neutral, and then cool. The cool is very blue.
Yeah, and I have a little video for each one.
Yeah, that's cool. Sorry, this is warm. That's not cool. That's warm.
Yeah.
This one is going to be neutral, and this one is going to be cool. So you can see that very cool blue-white. And then we also have 24 LED rings, 60 LED rings, and then you can just skip ahead to the sticks. Sticks, same thing with this picture. You can see that there's 3 different color temperatures of white and just RGB as well. The ones with white are a little bit more expensive, so maybe if you don't need it, you don't need it. These are the sticks. There you go. Showing the warm white, neutral white, cool white, and then RGB, and then again neutral white or cool white. So you can see by the reflection. Andrew's gotten really good at these. And then I can show them really fast in the overhead. Just
It's your show, man.
Well, I know, but we have to do some time. So, yeah, we just have these stick demos, so just showing. Let's see. Let's try the best. So yeah, you can see RGB, and then each one also has white as well. So I don't remember which color temperature all of these are. This one I think is warm, this one is neutral, and this one is cool. It's kind of bright in here, so it's hard to tell. But the animated GIFs we have are pretty good at showing what the color temperature is. Some people really care about it. If you don't care, just get the neutral white, because it doesn't look warm, it doesn't look cool. But if you are if you want something that looks like flames or like a candlelight, go for warm. If you want something that looks like daylight or like indoor fluorescent lighting, get the cool.
All right. Next up.
Party.
Yeah.
Thank you, kind assistant. Star, you're so good at things.
I get to say the stars of the show tonight because we
have 3 stars.
Yeah. Are these products? So what is this LADYADA?
Okay, so we have 2 feather wings, and I wanted to get these out at the same time because they're kind of similar to each other. So this is the Ada Logger feather wing, and this one adds a real-time clock and a micro SD card, so you can do data logging with timestamps. You can put a battery in there, and then now you have a battery-backed real-time clock. And it uses SPI and I2C. It works with all of the feather wings. We have a photo here showing what it looks like with an SD card inside and also a coin cell. Can store tons of data. You know, this is a good thing if you like, for example, you have a feather phona, so you have a feather board with cellular built in, and you want to data log something and maybe upload a file only once in a while to GPRS. You would do this, you would log to SD card and then connect to the cellular network and then upload the file, for example. So that's a good demonstration of what we want to do with. It works with any of the feathers. You can use it with ESP8266, 32U4, the Bluetooth ones, the Wi-Fi ones, whatever you like, and you just add data logging and a real-time clock.
Okay, next up.
But let's say you want a really good real-time clock. Like you want, the real-time clock on the Ada Logger is pretty good. You're gonna gain or lose a second or two every once in a while. But if you want a really precision real-time clock feather wing, this one has a DS3231, which is a temperature compensated crystal. So you pretty much never lose more than like 1 second a year or something ridiculous. It's extremely good. And once in a while, people are just like, they really want like precision timing. So you would get this real-time clock, and it's just really good at keeping track of time. That's what it's good for.
Okay. And then we mentioned this before, but Arduino Micro.
And the Arduino Micro, which we manufactured, Arduino Micro with header. We will not be making the Arduino Micro without header, as far as I can tell. That was not requested. So we will be making the one with header. But we have a bunch of other 32U4 based boards you can check out, like the Teen C2, similar chipset, same chipset, similar IDE. You can use that if you need something smaller and thinner. So I'm excited. We're going to be doing the Arduino starter kits next, and that's pretty. And then we'll take it from there.
Okay, and with that, those are new products.
New.
Yeah. All right.
That's the song.
Okay. Well, let's remind folks of the code, Stars and Robots.
I got it done in time.
Yeah. Good work.
28 new products this week.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, pretty
well, because
intense.
all the
That's
LED
stunning.
rings, there's like
Yeah.
8 versions, and each one is.
And there's more. Okay, so we're going to open up for some questions while we wrap up for the show. I got a couple lined up for you, Star.
Oh, great. Exciting.
Yeah. Questions. So you guys type them in the chat. We'll get to them as fast as we can. There was one for you, LADYADA, from the new products. Where is the power jack for the USB? Is there a power jack for
There
this?
is a power jack,
Yeah. Oh, there it is
and
right there.
I talk about it in the description of the product. It is tied.
I'll zoom in on this.
Yeah, it's I think it's like a 3.5 millimeter outer diameter, 1.7 millimeter inner diameter. I did try it. The problem is it is tied directly to the 5-volt line, and so like your computer may or may not like it if you power it at the same time. If you do, you might want to just crack it open and cut the USB port line or put a diode there. These are not the fanciest USB hubs. We have powered USB hubs that are like super fancy and like have fuses and everything. These are just like, you want to get 4 ports and you want to get them fast.
Okay. Next up, Star. This is a big question.
Shoot.
Because LadyAda gets asked this a lot, and it's asked in lots of different ways. But I figured the best way that I've heard this asked in a general way is the way to do it. How do you get more people into engineering?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
You should pick up a circuit
Well,
class.
I mean, because you probably do get asked this a lot.
Thank you.
Because you're a public persona that does engineering, so they're probably like, how do we get more of you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I appreciate that a lot. That's very thoughtful. I think how to get more people into engineering, the question there is like really why do this? And I think what the answer to that for me at least is like it's so powerful to be able to build your own tools. To say it's sort of like, what I want to see in the world is X. When you become an engineer, you have that ability.
You can make X.
And so just tell people that. That's my answer.
Gotcha.
You can make the tools that you want to see in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
LadyAda, do you have any additional things to add on how do we get more people to consider engineering?
My favorite thing is to show the possibilities, showing, like, we demonstrate, we do videos and examples of what those things that you can build. And I really love it when we build stuff that isn't like what people normally expect engineers to do. Like you have like synthesizers and LED art and costumes, and showing that engineering isn't just MATLAB. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, we love MATLAB. We've cried while doing MATLAB.
Totally.
I'm sure you have and I have, and it's wonderful. But it's also good to just build stuff with your hands and show what you can do by building stuff with your hands. And I think that people are creative. People are born creative. We beat it out of them. So we just have to introduce them back into having fun and building stuff and creating and exploring.
Yeah. One thing that I like to kind of add at the end when people talk about this stuff is, the dinosaurs didn't have any engineers, and if we're going to make it if they did, if they had any sense to,
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Can't
Can't hold the soldering iron.
having a telescope is kind of good sometimes. So,
Pretty useful.
A little bit of engineering can get you out of a jam too. So I think the biggest problems that we might create, we're probably going to have to solve, and I think engineering is going to help. So, anyways, thank you. That was a good answer. All right, let's see. LadyAda, I got a couple for you.
Okay.
It was over on YouTube.
Pick up.
No,
some
there was.
pics.
Okay. Do you have a sketch with the Adafruit motor shield that goes X distance and have it stop? So you can put a variable, say go 9.5 meters and stop, and go 9.4 meters and stop. So
you can do that. Yeah, I mean, you can do that in your code. The thing is it depends on how big your wheel is and how you're driving it. So if you want to go a certain distance, you'll want to have, especially with DC motors, you'll have to have some sort of encoder to let you know how far you're going. So getting encoder supported motors, and then you'll need to just count the encoder ticks until it's done. But it's so dependent on what motors you get that it's like tough to have a sketch ready to go.
Someone said if you make a drone with a feather, our new boards, will it flock together? Now this is a question for you as someone who.
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that idea.
Drone friends.
Okay.
Totally.
Next up, LadyAda Arena stock chips anytime soon?
I think that they only
CIPS?
recently shipped. I mean, I'll look into it. I don't know if they're taking distributors, but yeah, if it's possible, sure.
Okay. All right, and then Star, what was your tool of choice for CAD?
Well, for designing these boards, I used Eagle, as I think we went over a little bit earlier. I'm not promoting Eagle in particular. I think it is a functional tool that works if you want to use it. There are plenty of tutorials, so at least it has that going for it.
Okay, cool.
All right. And you mentioned this before, but why not? Where did these boards come from, and is this going to be the final color of the boards?
So two answers for two questions. So the boards came from, well, I designed them, but the circuits came from this book, Getting Started in Electronics, and from Forrest Bim's entire series of books about engineering. And that is not likely to be the final color.
This is Osh Park Purple.
This is Osh Park Purple, so you should know about Osh Park, the prototyping friendly design board house. They're fantastic, extremely nice people. All of the boards made by Osh Park are always this color purple. Watch for final designs.
Perfect purple PCBs made promptly.
Exactly.
I think that's good.
Ooh, you had that just.
Is
nailed.
that okay? I know it's all P's because Lane loves purple.
Yeah.
Okay, LadyAda, this one's sort of for you, but Star, feel free to chime in. Would you recommend a Pi 0 as a possible starting Pi or a single board computer? Do you have any single board computer?
I would actually recommend
preferences?
going with the Raspberry Pi B Plus or Pi 2 because even though the Pi Zero is less expensive, it's a lot harder to get started with because you don't have USB ports or Ethernet, and you have to solder. So I think it's a lot easier. It's a little bit more expensive to get a Pi 2 or a Pi B Plus, but you will suffer less trying to get it up and running. I think you'll be a little happier, and then you can always move your project to a Pi Zero.
Okay, that's so many questions we're going to be able to do tonight. Next up, LADYADA, it is time to give away something.
Yes.
So define what it is. Okay, there's a sea of products. I have to
I know.
go through.
A
Okay.
sea of LEDs.
Trivia.
Yeah, it's trivia time.
Okay. So the prize tonight, I'm going to go with the rules. The rules are you can only win once per my lifetime. So if you've won something from this show, you cannot win again. If I can only give you one prize. And we want to let everybody have a chance to enter. The first person who types in the answer to whatever Phil asks in YouTube or Ustream or Twitch chat or whatever wins the prize. The prize is going to be a copy of Forrest Mims' Getting Started in Electronics.
That's awesome.
If you know electronics, this can be a great gift. And also, I'm actually kind of looking at this. I'm like, these are kind of fun projects. And little check boxes, you can check them off. So please don't give people hints. Let everybody have a chance to enter.
Okay.
Ask
ready?
it.
What is Star's Twitter handle? Making it really easy because then you'll remember it. It's a discount code too. And then first person to type it in one of the chats, I say.
I can't enter, right?
No,
can't
of course,
enter.
no. I forgot to say. And the person who's sitting here doesn't get
Yeah.
I don't just give you a book. I already have this
Of course
book.
I do. Of course I do.
All right.
It's not 42.
Star Simpson's Twitter handle.
Yeah. All right, Jasper 530. Oh no, sorry. No, it's Stars and Robotics. Sorry, that's not it. Very close. So close. So
Close.
Let's see. Who's got Don Encino, Stars and Robots. Congratulations, you got it.
You were the first person to type in the chat. Congratulations.
Yay.
Don,
All right.
you
It
win.
was also the discount code all night. So, all right.
All right, congratulations, Don. Please email support@adafruit.com to win your prize. I can't put this through the screen. Email support@adafruit.com and tell them you've won Getting Started in Electronics by Forrest Mims. We'll send you out a free copy of this book so that you can learn electronics.
Sweet deal. That's awesome.
Yeah. And tell you what, Jasper 530 in Twitch, who got so close. Stars, you put Stars and Robotics and not Stars and Robots, but because you're a good sport, email support@adafruit.com. We're sending you one too.
Aww.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it goes the other way a lot of times.
Hey, sometimes if y'all are cool, we'll be cool. Please be cool.
Sometimes someone has a full meltdown. So when someone's cool, like they just got they were pretty
It's
close.
like the Miss Universe thing. It's like
Yeah.
wrong.
Okay, Jasper, you get one too in the Twitch chat.
Nice.
Okay. Because you're being cool. Sometimes it's about the way you react to situations.
So email support@adafruit.com. Jasper, tell them you won. You're one of the winners. And then also in the YouTube chat, that was Dawn. She got one as well.
All right. And don't forget to follow Star and also
Yeah.
check out on Crowd Supply
Check it out.
for the Circuit Class. Is that what it's called?
Circuit Classics
Circuit
coming
Classic.
soon. I think I have a pinned tweet. I'm very fancy, so you can check out the pinned tweet. It should
Go
be
to the
very fun.
Twitter, click on that tweet, sign up, and then sometime in the next couple months-ish
You'll hear from
maybe,
me.
going to pick up these awesome boards. And she said that if people like these, she would make more. No promises,
Hey. Yeah.
But
you
if-
gotta let me know if you like them.
but if you like them, there'll be more. And I think it would be awesome to have a series of like 20 or 30. I mean, like,
at this rate,
no
I
pressure.
personally build you more.
I'm gonna pick up a
my
set,
goodness.
but I think that this would be awesome and a great companion. And Forrest Mims has done so much to introduce electronics to everybody that this is like, it's an honor to have.
It is.
him to have his
It's a
circuits on
childhood dream to get to work on this project at all, so it's good to get to work on.
Okay, awesome. All right.
Yeah,
Yay!
the closest thing I can think of is when the folks from Art of Electronics were talking to LADYADA.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I feel it's like the same thing. It's like this is so heavy and special
Yeah.
and important, and you're being trusted with something.
Oh, I totally get that, and yeah, it does feel that way.
Yeah, and when they were asking her to review the next volume of Art of Electronics that just came out,
Oh, wow.
it was the same thing. It's like,
Awesome.
So it's just neat to watch. Then we got a chance to interview him. So, anyways, we'll see everybody next week. Thanks so much, Star. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
it's been
this
great.
worked out
Good
really
seeing you
well.
guys.
Please always know you have a show and tell slot or a space here on Ask an Engineer.
Oh my goodness.
if you're in
Maybe
New
when
York.
this launches, you can come by again, either virtually or physically.
I'd love that. I worked with you guys before on the Octopart card. That was
Yeah.
great.
That
So
was
it's
cool.
always great to
You're
work with you guys.
you're like going to be renowned for not only Tacocopter but for silkscreen madness,
Yes.
pushing the boundaries of Gerber generation.
I'm okay with that.
All right, cool. All right, well,
Okay.
thanks everybody.
All right, we'll see everybody.
3
next
hangouts
week.
tomorrow. 3 Thursday tomorrow.
Yeah, and then Desk of LADYADA and probably some more. So with that, here is the picture of our cat. When we had the show at our apartment, we always had the cat around, so I had to show a picture of the cat now. And here's our moment of Zener. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.